there, how are you? Let me ask you something. Who likes gardening? Today I brought some things here to show you what I do to my garden, because I have a small one. I love plants, and the parts of the plants. Let's do it together, and I hope you have fun and you can do the same in your houses, okay? First, I have my equipment here, everything that I'm going to need to do what I want. This is my plant that I'm gonna change from this flower pot to this one. This one is bigger and also better because this is like I reused this pot. It's a plastic one, and this sun didn't help very much, so it's breaking. I'm gonna change to this one. I have here garden fork. See, it's a fork. I have a garden trowel. It's a trowel here, and garden scissors. That's for another thing we're going to do later. Some fertilizing, the liquid one. Of course, you need to mix with water. This one is a powder, as you can see here, it's a powder. And this is natural, it's organic. It is organic, made of plants and animals, things. I'm not going to say in details what it is. I also have the sprinkler here, the sprinkler. So if I need, after everything is good, to water your plants. And since we live in a very hot city, it's very good to sprinkle some water on your plants in the hottest parts of the day. So when it's noon or when you feel that it's really hot for you, it's probably really hot for the plants. If you have one of these, it's very good to have your plants breathe and don't lose a lot of water. Sorry I couldn't show you because I have only two hands and one of this, like this one is free now, but I need both of them to break and replace. But as you see here, I broke it, this fake flower vase, because it was not a flower vase, and I replaced my plant to this one. As you can see, this plant is weak. It's not weak, but like it's so small that it doesn't hold itself up. So if you want, you can take a stick or something, hold it here, you put inside of the vase, and you hold it to make it stronger if you want. If not, you can get more sand and just do it in a way that is gonna hold it up, okay? Now looking at this plant, I'm gonna show you the parts of the plant. First, of course, the green part are the leaves. See, they have a different shape. It's really beautiful. And this kind of brown part is the stem. And here inside, I don't know if you can see it from there, we have the roots. Look here, see? This is the root. We know the root get the water from the sand. You're gonna water your plants, and the root is gonna get it, suck, and take the water to all the parts of the plants, the stem, the leaves, depending on the plant. If there is flowers and fruits, to the flowers and fruits. But this one doesn't have this kind of plant here, doesn't flower ever. But I'm going to get the organic fertilizer because I prefer organic, and drop here some, because when we change it, flower spots, the plant tends to get a little bit different because it's a new environment. It's like when we move to a new neighborhood. We try to get to know everything, we try to get to find the places that we like, but until we get all this information, we feel a little different and we miss the old place. It's basically the same thing. So don't worry if you feel like your plant is not the same in the first moments. It's gonna get okay, don't worry. Remember to water your plants. Depends on the plants. Some of them really likes having water every day. Some of others you need to feel it. If you touch here the sand and it's humid, it's not dry, you don't need to water. And another information that is interesting, you need to be careful to see if the plant likes or not having sunlight. Since I put the fertilizer here and it's dry, I need to water, but not very much because the rest of the sand is wet. So I'm gonna sprinkle some water here to make it wet and the plant can get all the nutrients. Okay, this one is done. Now let's go to the second part. Have you ever seen this plant? This one is called fern. It's very famous in lots of places in Brazil. You can find it. Normally, if you go to the Amazon, you can see it. Our rainforests have a lot of this, and normally they grow under trees. So you have the trunk of the tree, and the leaves on top. They grow under because they don't like a lot of sunlight. So they protect themselves under the trees, and they get the waters and everything from the trunk of the tree, from the roots and everything. Look at this one. It's beautiful, it's growing, it's happy. And as you can see here, these are also roots. They're coming out, but they're also roots. And as you can see, another fern is growing here. So what I'm gonna do is cut this one and plant in a new flower vase. Let's see how I'm gonna do it. Okay, first I need my scissors. Be careful not to cut everything. I'm gonna find the correct one. Oops, on one hand. Probably this one, as I can see, and I'm going to cut. Okay, it's gonna fall on the floor, but that's it. I'm gonna cut. Oops, see? Found it. Okay, I have my new fern, and I'm gonna place on the second flower vase that I have here. Oops, but it's empty. No worries. I have fertilizer, I have sand, I have everything, and I'm gonna place inside of this. So I have my fern here. I'm gonna use my trowel to get some sand from another flower vase that I have here that is not being used. This one. I'm gonna get some sand that I have inside of here, place here, mix with the organic fertilizer, and drop some water to make a good mixture and with a lot of nutrients to plant this new baby. I have sand here. Remember I told you in the beginning of the video there's something that I use here that looks like flour but is a little bit thicker. As this thing here is made of bones, like animals' fossils. When they get very old, like they're there for a while, they break it in small pieces, and when you drop here inside of your flower pot, mixing with some sand and fertilizer, it's good because it holds more water and the plant is going to feel wetter for more time, for longer. It's very good. Another thing that I like using is coconut. I'm gonna show you what is it, what part of the coconut I'm talking about. There's one here, see? It looks like hair, but it's made of coconut. And why do I use this? It's not because of the water, it's because the sand, if you put only many mix of sands, is not going to get very good after a while because it's going to get hard and make like a block. And the water in the plant is not going to grow better because they're not going to have space, so it's going to be more difficult. If you get this and you mix it, it's going to get softer and much better even for you as a gardener to mix and to put more nutrients and to see if your plant is growing well is much better. So if you can, you can do it. It's very, I think it's like $1. It's very, very cheap. It's not expensive. Alright, as I told you, when you mix everything, it's really dry. And as you know, plants, people, living things like water. So what you need to do is get your watering pot and drop some water here. Whoops! Sorry, it was a lot. But it's okay because I have a lot of sand. And if you can use your hands, you're gonna get dirty because it's gardening time. If you have children, please call them. They love it. Job done. Now, where's my baby? As I showed you, oops, these here, looks like strings, are the roots. So you have to place this part under the sand. Not very deep because it doesn't need to be deep, this plant, in the beginning, and they grow a lot like sideways, inside out. This is not the perfect flower pot for this kind of plant because normally this plant needs to be hang, but it's up to you. I don't care. I can just take this plant and put somewhere not hanging. It's perfect anyway. So okay, here. Fern don't like a lot of sunlight, and you don't need to water them every day. You water each like 2 days, so 3 times a week. And be careful, don't put a lot of water, and don't forget to put water. It's not a very easy plant to have, but I know you can do it, so please try because they look beautiful anywhere. This is another kind of plant with a different kind of leaf. Look how beautiful. It's very big, and you can see the roots out of the flower pot, out of the sand. See, this is the root. And this one also doesn't need a lot of water, so you don't need to worry about that, because even the leaves here are not so thin, so it doesn't lose a lot of water as that one. This one here, the leaf feels like a rubber or something like a plastic. See, when it's the sunlight gets it, it shines like a plastic, or like I put a product to shine. It's completely different from the other one. So each plant has something particular, something different. Like people, like us, we have our differences, and all of us are very beautiful. Okay people, I hope you liked our class, and I hope it was fun and you can do the same in your house. I know I have a lot of plants. Not everybody has a lot of plants. You don't have to, but I like having plants in my house to have more colors, even though most of my plants are green, but I like green. And it's gonna look beautiful. I hope you can do it. I showed you only roots, stem, flower, and leaves, but remember we have fruits, of course, and some roots you can eat it. Can you name a root you can eat it? Please write here in the comments the roots you know, your favorite ones, and why it's really important to eat vegetables and fruits. Okay? Like you very much. I miss you very much. See ya!